our YouTube channel? Search media. Search TV. Sorry.
Yes, and a very good afternoon to you. A very good afternoon. Also, be right here at the Senate Chamber of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, for the press briefing, which is the first event in a lineup of events for the 30th Founders Day ceremony and the 30th convocation ceremony for this very prestigious university. Of course, you can catch all of these events right here on Search TV. All you have to do is get on YouTube, search for Search TV, and click the subscribe button and also the bell button whenever it is that we come on air, so that you can join us during the course of the convocation and founding ceremonies. Of course, all you have to do is stay locked onto this particular dial, and we will bring all of these developments your way. Stay with us, and I'll be right back.
Subscribe to Search TV on YouTube. Search for Search TV and click the subscribe button.
Hi, I am Professor Abdullah Bala, the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Minna. This is Search TV FUT Minna, the next big thing to hit your digital screen. Subscribe to the Search TV channel on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by clicking the subscribe, like, and follow button. Thank you.
Search TV.
Subscribe to Search TV on YouTube. Search for Search TV and click the subscribe button.
self-reliant force of sound mind and moral, who will make our nation relevant in global development. You take me now, you take me now, we need to fly high, the pride of Nigeria you are, and you will ever be our love for you won't see.
Thank you very much. Please be seated.
And that, of course, was the university anthem. We just have the principal officers of the university who have made their way into the Senate chamber right here at the main campus of the Federal University of Technology. I can say that I have eyes on the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology. There's also the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor E.E. Udensi. We can also see Mrs. Hadiza Kuje.
Members of staff here present, gentlemen of the press, great Nigerian students here present, you are welcome to the 38th Founders Day and 30th Convocation Vice Chancellor's Press Briefing. My name is Mustafa Al-Hassan. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is a saying that communication is the lubricant of human relationships. It is also said that communication is the vehicle through which human relationships can be built, sustained, or even destroyed. It is in cognizance of these deliverables of communication that our Vice Chancellor has chosen to brief members of the fourth estate of the realm about the forthcoming convocation ceremony. Need I mention here that we do not just have gentlemen of the press here in Niger State. I always like to refer to them as friends of this university, given my experience in the field and our relationship with them. It's on that note that I want to personally, specially say welcome to our colleagues from the media. You're all welcome. I would like to introduce members of the head table and dignitaries here. When I'm done with introductions, I would request the gentlemen of the press to self-introduce. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and privilege to first and foremost introduce the Vice Chancellor of Nigeria's Specialized University of Choice, the Federal University of Technology, Minna. Please meet Professor Abdullah Bala, Fellow Soil Science Society of Nigeria, Vice Chancellor FUT Minna, and Chairman Association of West African Universities. He is flanked by his two able deputies, by beginning with the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. He's a professor of medical microbiology. Please meet Professor Farouk Adamo Kota DVC Akkad. And to his right is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Physics, Professor of Geophysics. Please meet Professor Emmanuel Emeka Udensi. We have the Registrar and Secretary to Council, a seasoned administrator in the person of Mr. Amos Madukolo. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet our bossa, Mrs. Adiza Goje, FCNA, FCTI. And of course, the University Librarian who controls the heart of the university, Dr. Katamba Abubakar Saka. I'll quickly introduce the deans present here. I can see the Dean Postgraduate School, Professor Oladiran Kamaruddin Abubakar. I can see the Dean School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology, Professor Joe Madu. Okay, we have Dean School of Environmental Technology, Architect Professor Remi Ebenezer Olagunju. Okay, Dean School of Science and Technology Education, Professor Amosa Isiaka Gambari. My teacher, the Dean School of Information and Communication Technology, the Digital Dean, Professor Nicholas Iwokwa. Okay, the Dean of Students is here, Dr. Manasseh Auta. Okay. Okay, the Dean School of Physical Science, Professor Jonathan Yisa. Welcome, sir. You can see the Director of Academic Planning, Professor Abdullahi. Okay, Professor. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome. Please, cameraman, can you please move aside so that I can have a better view of them? Thank you very much. The Director, Works and Services, Works and Maintenance Services, Dr. M.B. Wuna. We have a member of council there, Dr. Ibrahim. I can see the Director, Center for Preliminary and Extramural Studies, Dr. Seidu Mohammed. And we have some of our principal officers here. We have former Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Sareme Akim Osundi. We have Professor Suleiman Omeza Sadiku, former DVC Administration. We have the Deputy Director. Good. I can see the focal officer, Savicon, Professor Adam Yusuf Kabiru. He's also a member of council. Seated close to him is Professor Rashid Olakunle Ojutiku, Director of Sports University, and also member of the University Governing Council. And you can see the Director, University Health Services, Dr. Abdul Salam Abdul Fatai. Thank you very much for taking the recognitions in due course as the names get to me. At this juncture, I want to call on gentlemen of the press to self-introduce. Thank you. Please, when you stand up, introduce yourself and the news medium you represent. Thinking the chairman correspondent will start first. Okay.
And of course, we just had dignitaries from the university introduced. And up next, we have members of press introducing themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone.
My name is Ibrahim Akau. I write for Newsline newspapers.
I am Hamid Salau, Nigerian pilot.
Sakabolaji Daily Times.
Pan and Matthew Drott is my name, Standard Newspapers.
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Anthony, Telegraph newspaper.
And that is the introduction being done by members of the press.
Good
afternoon. My name is Justina Atishan. I write for the Nation newspaper.
I am Lale. I write for this day.
I'm Dana Mas, Daily Assets.
I'm Rabbi Abubakar Gimba, Prestigious.
I am Samson Nampa, Al Jazeera newspaper.
Of course, we still have the introductions by members of
Mustafa Ali is my name. Work with Voice of America.
I am Muhammad Ahmad Ibrahim, AIT.
I'm Pamela Duma, Niger State Television.
Aliu Muhammad Law, Radio Nigeria from
I am Small Sombo, Voice of Nigeria.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rita Lee. I work with the News Agency of Nigeria now.
With this, you can tell that the university is not just particular about one media house, but we are all, we cross across all nation.
Of course, the Fourth Estate is very ably represented at this event.
We are also the director center for the Startup Management and Development Studies has joined us, University of Joseph. At this juncture, I would most respectfully call on the Vice Chancellor of Nigeria's Performing Specialized University, the relentless Professor Abdullahi Bala, FSSN, to please give us this briefing. Please, sir.
Of course, the Vice Chancellor is about to give his briefing, which is the meat of this event. Here is the Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdullahi Bala, FSSN.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration. Registrar, Bossa, University Librarian, members of Council here present, members of Senate here present, deans and directors, professors, members of congregation, other members of staff, invited guests, members of the press, and our dear students. I welcome you to this press event, which marks the formal commencement of activities scheduled for the 38th Founders Day and 30th Convocation ceremonies. The purpose of our gathering here today is to present to members of the press, representing both the print and electronic media, as well as members of the university community and the public at large, detailed highlights of the program of events for the Founders Day and Convocation ceremonies. In our midst today are the representatives of the university's media outfit, Search Media, which comprises the community radio Search FM, as well as the newly inaugurated television wing called Search TV. Today's event is the first official outing of Search TV, and it is my honor and privilege to welcome them to this occasion and to congratulate the leadership and team of Search Media and for venturing into the television. Tomorrow, Thursday, 27 January, usher in the ceremony of the Chancellor's Cup competition at Gironkwano campus. This is the third edition of the Chancellor's Cup organized and participate in the universities for laureates and happen to be a total of 40 matches for a winner to emerge. Unlike previous years, there are also 8 female taekwondo teams participating in this year's events. The opening ceremony and kickoff for both the football and taekwondo competitions took place on Monday, January 17, 2022, at the University Sports Complex, Gironkwano campus. On Friday, 28th January 2022, the Vice Chancellor's Students Award Ceremony will hold at 10 a.m. at the University Auditorium, Gidomkwano campus. The award ceremony is designed to honor our students for outstanding academic performance and for winning laurels for the university at different academic, research, and extramural competitions. A total of 270 students from 200 to 500 levels that fall in the first class range, represented by a cumulative grade point average CGPA of 4.5 and above, will be offered partial scholarships, while 10 winners of gold, silver, and bronze medals at various national and international competitions will be given various cash prizes in appreciation of their efforts and as a means of motivation for future outstanding performances. All the awardees will also be issued with certificates by the Vice Chancellor. Later in the day, we will observe the special Jumat prayers at the Central Mosque of both the Boso and Gidomkwano campuses at about 2:15 p.m. Special interdenominational church services for the convocation will also be held on Sunday, 30th January 2022 at 8:30 a.m. at the Chapel of Grace at Boso and Gidomkwano campuses. The activities will continue on Monday, 31st January 2022 with the commissioning of TED Fund projects at 10 a.m. The Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro, will lead a high-powered team comprising management staff of the fund and some members of the National Assembly for the commissioning. These members of the National Assembly also include all the 3 senators representing Niger State. The Executive Governor of Niger State, His Excellency Dr. Abubakar Sani Bello, is also expected to commission 2 projects at the occasion. A total of 12 projects will be commissioned that day. These comprise the following: the Postgraduate School Complex, the School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology Phase 3 building, the Cyber Security Science Phase 2 building, the School of Information and Communication Technology 250 capacity lecture theater, the Center of Excellence for Technology Development building, the Department of Chemistry building, the Department of Physics building, the Department of Geography building, the Department of Geology building, 1 unit of 500 kVA transformer, 1 unit of 750 kVA transformer, and the School of Physical Sciences Waterworks. Later by 1 p.m. on Monday, 31st January 2022, the University's Scientific Research Exhibition, which is taking place at the Suleiman Kumo Convocation Square, Gidomkwano campus, will be declared open by the university's Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council, Professor Olu Obafemi, NNOM. The exhibition is meant to showcase to the general public and prospective investors the products of research endeavors and to celebrate the research prowess of our staff and students. This is to be followed later that day by the convocation lecture titled Energy Transition and Energy Accessibility, the New Paradigm, to be delivered by the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC Limited, Malam Mele Kolo Kyari. The lecture will be delivered at the university's auditorium, Gidomkwano campus, at 4 p.m. The Chancellor's cocktail in honor of the convocation lecturer will take place later at 7:30 p.m. at the Vice Chancellor's Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, in view of the numerous activities involved, and in order to manage crowd size considering the COVID-19 pandemic, this year's convocation is staggered to hold in 2 days at the Suleimanu Kumo Convocation Square, Girankwano campus. The first day, Tuesday, 1st February 2022, which also represents our Founders' Day, will be dedicated to the investiture and conferment of honorary degree to the university's new chancellor, His Imperial Majesty Alade Toyimbo Ogunlade Adelusi Odundun II, Deji, and paramount ruler of Akure Kingdom, as well as the award of first degrees and prizes. The event will commence at 11 a.m. The first convocation ceremony will be immediately followed by the commissioning of another set of TED-fund projects by a team expected to comprise the representative of the visitor to the university, the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Professor Abubakar Rashid, as well as the Chancellor of the university. The projects to be commissioned consist of the School of Innovation Technology 250 capacity lecture theater, the Professor Femi Odekunle Complex of School of Life Sciences, the School of Life Sciences Laboratory Complex, the School of Life Sciences Twin Lecture Theater, each of 250 capacity, 2 units of 500 kVA transformers, and a 500 kVA generator. On day 2 of the convocation, Wednesday, 2nd February 2022, there will be another set of commissioning by honorary degree awardees, this time mainly projects funded by the Needs Assessment Fund for the revitalization of public universities. This event will commence at 10 a.m. and the following projects will be commissioned: the School of Physical Sciences Administrative Block, the Department of Mathematics Complex, the Department of Statistics Complex, and the School of Physical Sciences Twin Lecture Theater, each of 250 capacity. The commissioning will be followed by the second convocation ceremony, which is expected to commence at 12 noon. During this event, graduates of postgraduate programs will be conferred with higher degrees and diplomas. There will also be the award of honorary degrees to 4 eminent Nigerians. Graduates. A total of 5,049 graduates will be awarded degrees and diplomas. Of this number, 3,892 will receive first degrees, 200 will be awarded postgraduate diplomas, and 836 master's degrees, while 121 will bag doctorate degrees. Out of those graduating with the first degrees, 58 are in the first class degree division, and 948 in the second class upper division. A total of 2,047 are in second class lower division, 801 in third class, while 38 are graduating with past degrees. Honorary degree awardees. Gentlemen of the press, it is my pleasure to also announce that we shall be conferring honorary doctorate degrees on 4 eminent Nigerians in recognition of their contributions to national development. The distinguished Nigerians are General Abdulsalami A. Abubakar, GCFR, former head of state and Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria; Alhaji Abdul Samad Rabi'u, CON, founder and chairman, Boa Group;
Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, CON, President, African Development Bank, and Malam Mele Kolo Kyari, Chief Executive Officer and Group Managing Director, NMPC Limited. The university considers these eminent Nigerians as role models worthy of emulation, and hence the decision to so honor them. I would like to congratulate them for this feat. The learning environment in the university. It is worthy of note that the projects that will be commissioned over a 3-day period during these ceremonies will consist of buildings for offices, classrooms, theaters, and laboratories that will enable the university to relocate in a few weeks' time 3 schools from the Boso campus to the Gideon Kwano campus. These are the schools of life sciences, the School of Physical Sciences, and the postgraduate school. I cannot conclude this speech without thanking and appreciating the TED Fund, the National Universities Commission, and the Ministry of Education for the provision of funds and supporting the construction of these edifices. I'm also proud to note that in line with our tradition, graduates will collect the original copies of their certificates immediately after the convocation ceremonies. In addition, beginning from this year, graduates will also be able to collect students' copies of their transcripts on request immediately after the convocation ceremonies. The university has demonstrated in the past 4 years how valuable our students are to us and how they lie at the heart of our decisions, policies, and programs. In order to deepen and mainstream in our daily routine this regime of care, we have developed a student support services policy, which the Governing Council approved in May 2021. We have also created the Student Support Services Unit with the immediate past registrar of the university, Mrs. Victoria Naokolo, appointed as pioneer coordinator. The latest ranking of Nigerian public universities by the National Universities Commission, NUC, places FUT Minna in first position with a score of 97.57 in terms of efficiency. That is, in terms of the rate of retention and graduation of students. We are able to achieve this feat because of the due care and diligence we attach to the needs and interests of our students. In order to sustain this feat and to ensure that no student of the university is forced to drop out of the university on account of financial difficulties, the university on 29th November 2021 launched the university's Benevolence Fund for indigent students. This is our initiative at providing financial succor to every bright but indigent student so that they are able to continue with their studies up to graduation. The University Students Financial Aid Committee, which was established to manage the fund, has a prominent Nigerite and an eminent Nigerian, Malam Mahmoud Abubakar Magaji, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as its chairman. I'm using this occasion to call for support and donations from all and sundry for the fund so that we can join in building a future for our brilliant students that are unable to financially support themselves. Conclusion. This year's convocation will be my last as the Vice Chancellor of the university. A new Vice Chancellor would have been appointed by this time next year. In the last 4 years, I have had the honor and privilege of working with numerous wonderful people whose cooperation, support, and goodwill enabled us to make substantial progress in the growth and development of the university. Given that they are too numerous to mention, I would want to use this opportunity to thank all and sundry who in various ways contributed to the success of my tenure as the Vice Chancellor. Specifically, I appreciate and thank members of the Governing Council of the University, members of Senate, the staff and students, as well as members of the host community who have made our work easy by maintaining the peace. I also especially thank all those that have contributed to the success of today's press briefing. Your presence here has no doubt added color and glamour to the event. I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is a live transmission broadcast of Search
I think I will
FM.
not be asking too much if I say we should give the Vice Chancellor a standing ovation. This is his last convocation press briefing.
And of course, everybody right here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You may please sit.
And of course, the Vice Chancellor of the Federal
Ladies and
University.
gentlemen, the Vice Chancellor has given the facts, he has given the figures, aggregated and disaggregated. And I am sure questions have accumulated. That will be taking us to the question and answer session, interactive session as we have on the program. But before we go there, I would like to quickly recognize the presence of the Director of Physical Planning and Development, Architect Idris Al-Hassan. Thank you. We have the Deputy Director, University Legal Services, Barrister Evelyn Husseini. Thank you. VC, we, in the course of the program, some of the very senior journalists to self-introduce before we go to question and answer. Thank you, sir.
Abu Body is my name. I write for Leadership newspaper.
And the interactive session following the Vice Chancellor's brief is just about to kick off right now.
Abu is being modest. He's the chairman of NUG.
We have the first question
Adams.
coming up
I
right
write
now.
for the Sun newspaper.
Thank you.
And it looks like all the members of press who will be asking questions are introducing themselves first.
My name is Adelu Ojo. I report for Blueprint newspapers.
Of course, we expect that as soon as they're done, the questions will start to fly this afternoon. And the Vice Chancellor looks to be very ready
Thank you very
to
much.
field all of
when we
these
have
questions.
sessions like this with journalists, I don't need to talk about time because nobody values time more than the reporter. So please, you can just, as we did earlier, raise your hand, yourself, and news medium, then go ahead with your question. But the Vice Chancellor will be the chairman of this occasion. He is to point who speaks. This is, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Let me start from my far right, the man from TVC News.
And the very first question is about to be put out by the TVC
Good
reporter.
afternoon once again. I'm Chenemi Bamei. I work with TVC News. Before I go to my question, I just want to say after having worked with this university community for a while, when I walked in, I noticed TVC was showing downstairs and it was commendable. So thank you for always watching us. Okay, now to my question. Out of the graduating students, we have 3,000 that are bagging their first degrees, and I can't help but notice that just 58 of these students are coming out of first class, and a whooping sum of over 2,000 are going on with second class lower division. So my question is, does this follow a narrative where probably in schools we hear that it's difficult for people to come out with first class, or there's something wrong with maybe the academic system that needs to be checked? Thank you.
And of course,
Once again, good afternoon, sir. My name is Daniel Atori, New Telegraph Newspapers. Sir, firstly, I want to say congratulations for the first
for the first half. And we pray that by the grace of God, you will still be here with us. So, comparatively, I want you to give us the percentage difference between this and the previous. Thank you very much.
And we have the mic going around for any correspondent who has a question for the Vice Chancellor.
I am Muhammad Ahmad Ibrahim. I work with AIT. Yes, last year on the 29th of November, I was here when the Benevolence Fund was inaugurated by you. As at that time, you said over 500 indigent students benefited from November to this time. No, previous years. So my question is, from the 30th of last year, November, to this time, how many requests have you received from indigent undergraduate students of this great institution? Thank you.
And the correspondent from AIT.
Thank you very much.
Just gave his question. We're about to see whether those are all the questions or the Vice Chancellor is ready to respond to all of these questions that have been presented to him.
I think.
And it seems like it's time for the Vice Chancellor to take the stage.
I think there are no further questions. No, I can't see any hands up again.
And it's over to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdullahi Bala, to give his responses to each of these questions that have been given to him. Oh, there is one more question.
Sorry, Prof, the Vice Chancellor. We're here about 3 years ago when the, 5 or 6 years ago, when the then Vice Chancellor told us that the institution is facing out past degree. And today I'm seeing past degree. I think not only out of passion, but out of passion, the past degree, the level we know Federal University of Technology to be the rating. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. VC, sir. You wish to respond?
Okay. Thank you very much. Very perceptive questions. Very interesting. Very difficult to respond. But I will try my best. TVC looks at 58 first-class degrees out of the over 3,000 graduates as whether it represents or supports the narrative that first-class degrees are difficult to get in certain institutions. When we say first class, it means the best of the best. And usually, you will find that the best represent a small proportion of the population. And then, at the other side, the not so very good or not so good performance as represented by the past degrees that our leadership was asking of. Also, you will see that they are few. If you look at the largest number here are those with the second class lower. Looking at the distribution of these results, we will confidently say that this represents what we call a binomial distribution, which is what you should expect in results that truly represents performances in populations. You will find that the middle, the average, will almost always account for the largest proportion. The best, little, and then, if I may use, for lack of words, the worst will also be few. And that is what you are seeing here. It's not that the university is sadistic and we don't want to give first class. You only get first class when you earn it. And you get a pass degree when you earn it. But the reality is that the vast majority of the students are almost always going to fall within the second class, lower division. I hope I have answered your question. New Telegraph, percentage difference between this and previous ones, not very much. I don't have the figures of the previous ones offhand, but they largely, in terms of the distribution, they are largely similar. The last convocation, we also had a binomial distribution, where the first class, fewer, maybe 70-something about that time, and then the past degrees also were few, and the vast majority in the 2-2 categories. Maybe after the press conference, we can look at our records and give you the previous year's results, but not very different, not significantly different from what we have this year. Excuse me. AIT, how many requests have we had since November? Not many. I think as at the last count, based on the responses we got, 7 were outstanding. Now, the reason why I think we are yet to get more was because we took a decision that for the benevolence fund, we need to put in place a management structure of the committee that will be managing the funds. And because the committee is yet to take off, we have not started disbursing the funds. But we have a few students, about 7, that indicated that really applied for these funds. And we have made arrangements for them to get support elsewhere to allow them to continue while we put in place this other structure that will accommodate a larger number of students. Leadership, 5 years ago, former Vice Chancellor reported the phasing out of past degrees. Yes, at some point we phased out past degrees, but then Nigeria is noted for flip-flops in terms of policy. There was a policy then that the past degrees should be phased out, but I think a year or 2 later, the policy was reversed. And in any case, even if the policy had been returned, because we had students that were admitted under the previous, policy, we still have had past degree graduates, because we'll have to allow those students that came in under that policy to graduate before you begin to see the policy taking effect on the new set of students. So as of today, past degree is back. And I think the idea is to bend backwards and accommodate relatively weak students in the system instead of checking them out of the system as a result of poor academic performance. But that does not mean that we still do not have 1 or 2 students that still have to withdraw based on poor academic performance. Any other? Okay, thank you very much.
And so the Vice Chancellor has just responded to all the questions that were thrown his way. Up next is the vote of thanks by the Chairman of the University Ceremonies Committee.
Thank you very much, VC, sir, for the apt responses, clear and concise to all the questions. Thank you very much, gentlemen of the press. Can we please put our hands together once again for our Vice Chancellor? We are fast approaching the end of the program. At this juncture, I would like to recognize the presence of the Chairman University Seminar and Colloquium Committee, Professor B.C. Alex Anyawale. We also have the Dean School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology, Professor Job Moju. Our principal officers cannot function effectively without their deputies. I had the privilege of introducing the two deputy vice chancellors. We also have deputy registrars and deputy bursars here. This is, please permit me to introduce the deputy registrars and deputy bursars. We have Malam Muhammad Aliu, Muhammad Obajia, deputy registrar. We have Mr. Zakios Kolo, Mr. Abubakar Mahmoud, Malam Abubakar Mahmoud. But he has dressed like a mister today. We have Ajia ASD Usman, Deputy Registrar, Academic Affairs. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Of course,
At
up
this
next
juncture,
is
I would like to call on it. Okay, good. We have the Deputy Boss, Mrs. Rebecca Adams. Thank you very much. Good to see you, ma'am. Oh, Deputy Registrar Establishment, Mr. Eli Badaf. Thank you very much, sir.
We still have dignitaries still being introduced who made their way in during the course of the
We have
program.
another Deputy Registrar there. And he's also Chairman. Sanui decided to immerse himself he sandwiched himself in the midst of reporters. Malam Abubakar Aliu is the Chairman, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, and also a Deputy Registrar. We also have the Deputy Boss there, Mrs. Ilalo. Please, ma'am, can you just stand up for recognition? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's now my honor and privilege to call on the man on whose shoulder the planning and organization of the convocation ceremonies have been. That's the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Emmanuel Emeka Udensi, fellow Nigerian Institute of Physics. DVC, sir, is going to give us the vote of thanks.
And of course, the vote of thanks is coming up with the Chairman University Ceremonies Committee in the person of the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration.
Members of the management team, the deans, directors, and other top officers of the university, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. We want to start by appreciating the VC for giving opportunity to all of us to hear from him what he and his team have been doing in the past 4 years. So we appreciate you, and we sincerely thank God for your life and what you've been able to achieve. Above that, we want to thank the members of the press for coming. If you did not come, this program will not hold. So we sincerely appreciate you for coming, and we wish to remind you that you have come so that you know what programs we have for the convocation. VC has outlined them, starting from today. There will be a program tomorrow. There will be another one on Friday. That is the Student Award ceremony. There will be, starting from Monday, the tempo will increase. And so we expect that as you have come today, you will keep coming and cover all the programs. The Lord will grant you strength to do that. And as you cover these programs, we also wish that whenever we get back in the evening, TVC News, we tune it, is it at 9 o'clock or so, we will be seeing you reporting the events in the university. AIT, 8 o'clock news, we will see you reporting events in the news hour, that's 8 o'clock, we will see you. And the newspapers, we will bind the newspapers and then we will be seeing reports. That's the essence of this press conference, to appeal to you to cover the events and make yourselves available. So we sincerely appreciate that you will be around. And when you cover them well. For instance, I had AIT when he said that the university said that we gave, is it 500, we paid school fees of 500 students under benevolent fund. we didn't say that. Yeah, previously we didn't say that. We've not, the benevolent fund is just starting. The structures are being put in place. So please, when you report us, What we said was that the university has been recording increasing number of dropouts, and about 400 and something. And then now, because that number is increasing, then that agitated the minds of the Vice Chancellor and management. And for that reason, we are instituting a benevolent fund so as to stop that drain along that line. That was what we said. Yes. I hope that is that's understood now. So we hope that when we are being reported, we shall be reported very well. For instance, report us well that we are going to commission 23 high-quality projects. Report that anytime. We stand by it. And also report us very well that we are moving 3 schools at the same time from Boso to Gidankwano. I'm not sure any university in Nigeria has done that before. So report that, and we stand by that anytime. Also follow us up to ensure that what we have said we shall do. God bless you.
Chancellor. That was Deputy Vice Chancellor,
Thank you
Administration,
very much, DVC,
Professor E.E. Udensi, giving the votes of thanks. Of course, up next is the departure, but there will be some
fast approaching the end of the event.
loose
I would
ends
like
to
to
tie up.
especially thank members of council who took time to attend this program. The Director, Academic Planning, Professor Abdullahi Mohammed, Member of Council, we thank you for coming. Dr. Aaron Ibrahim, we thank you for coming. Dr. Seidu Mohammed, Director CPS and Member of Council, we thank you for coming to attend this program. Thank you very much. Before we rise for the University Anthem, let me quickly announce that the Vice Chancellor will be having a group photograph with gentlemen of the press outside the Senate building. So it's his last convocation, press briefing, and this would serve as a good memory to look at some other day. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that effectively brings us to the end of this Vice Chancellor's press briefing. Can we please rise for the University Anthem?
FUT Minna, we lift your name on high. Your cities to set the pace for others. Excellence is your goal. Federal United Minna, Niger State, a citadel of learning, technological advancement of our land is your primary goal. To build a self-reliant force of sound mind and morals, who will make our nation relevant in global development. FUT Minna, we lift your flag up high. The pride of Nigeria you are, and you will ever be. Our love for you won't cease.
Let's remain standing while the principal officers go out of the venue, followed by gentlemen of the press and members of Senate. Thank you.
And of course, we have the principal officers filing out of the Senate chamber, which brings to an end the very first event in the lineup of events for the 30th Founders Day and 30th Convocation ceremonies right here from the Gidankwano campus of the Federal University of Technology, Minna. Like I said, this is just the first event. we still have quite a number of events lined up for this particular ceremonies, talking about the 38th Founders Day and 30th Convocation ceremonies. There'll be a lot of sports events, commissioning of buildings, and of course the investiture of degrees, both on all the levels, first degrees, PGDs, masters, and doctorate degrees during the course of this ceremony.
It is also worthy to note that this will be the very last convocation under the leadership of Professor Abdullahi Bala. And I must say that it has been a wonderful administration. We have seen him through a lot of projects. And of course, I'm glad that his administration has also brought the realization of bringing the department from the Boso campus to Gidan Kwanu. I believe from 2018, we have been anticipating the movement, and now I think dreams are now reality. And of course, we want to see other departments also come to Gidan Kwanu fully, and everyone could be receiving lectures from the Gidan Kwanu campus.
Of course, we have come to the end of today's event. However, you can expect to catch all the other events with us on Search Media, both on the radio and on the TV. You can join us on our Facebook page, where it will all be live streamed with Search Media, on Twitter with Search Media MX, on Instagram, where it will also be live streamed on Search Media MX, and you can get to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Search Media FUT Minna. So until the rest of the programs come your way on this different channel, we'll hand you right back to the MBB house. From Odaba, Koji, and Felicia, bye for now.
Hi, I am Professor Abdullahi Bala, the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Minna. This is Search TV FUT Minna, the next big thing to hit your digital screen. Subscribe to the Search TV channel on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by clicking the subscribe, like, and follow button. Thank you.
Search TV.